Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a tour of this awesome vehicle. I know I haven't done a tour in quite a while, but this morning I met this amazing couple who were parked next to each other last night, and they're nice enough to offer the tour. So they're going to introduce themselves and kind of say like how long you've been doing it for, where you're from, and like why you decided to do this, if it's like a full-time or kind of a temporary thing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Well,
Hey guys, I'm Mackenzie,
I'm Matt.
and this is Wolf, our dog. He's 6. But
We're from New Orleans. We've been on the road for 6 months, and we've been in Oregon for about a month now. I don't know, it's just something that we've kind of been planning to do for a while, and we had done plenty of other road trips in the past, but maybe only like a month or 2 weeks and stuff like that. But you know, we're at
Sorry.
yeah.
Dog meeting.
Yeah, that's regular. Literally, Wolf is our icebreaker. Anybody we meet, they're like, "Oh, y'all got a dog?" They remember him. Y'all are Wolf's parents, right? So yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I've been working for myself for a while in New Orleans, and it was at a point where I either needed to expand there or go see what else was out there, and this is just kind of what we were doing. We wanted to travel and meet people.
Cool.
That's what we've been doing.
So you were able to carry this job that you're doing for yourself onto the road?
Yeah. So I spent the last 3 years building furniture and sculpture and like small store build outs and stuff like that. And it was kind of easy to just find gigs doing that sort of stuff on the road. We spent the summer in Santa Cruz building a set with a theater. So that was a 2-month job, and we've kind of just been able to keep going doing that. Yeah.
Nice.
yeah, so we started this trip saying it was going to be like a minimum of 3 months, and we just like kind of sold everything and saved up money and hit the road. And then we just, once we realized that like, we definitely could be working on the road while we go, we just have been loving it, and we'll be in the car as long as it's warm enough.
Yeah, we're still unsure of what we're going to do for the winter, but I don't know. That's something I could do long term, I think. Maybe with a different rig or maybe a rooftop tent or something like that, just to give us a little more room inside of the car. 95 Mitsubishi Montero. We just hit 300,000 miles, which is a huge milestone.
Wow.
Yeah, feeling strong.
Yeah, he's done a lot of work to the car for this. Got a whole new Old Man Emu suspension, and
New
I don't know what
tires.
else she did. But yeah, so we kind of have the car split into like a his and hers kind of situation. So I have half and he has half. Yeah, that's just the process.
So,
But
This is kind of what we do on a nightly basis. We take the
this
dog
is how
bed.
it looks when we open the car. And then, yeah, this is kind of like the dog hangs out here when we're traveling. So we have like a dog blanket laid out all the time, so he's not like getting our bed dirty and stuff.
So, let's see. You just take this out. Throw it up on the hood.
Nice.
Get the dog blanket out and all the hair that's on it. Because we like to keep our stuff clean.
Yeah.
Dog free. This goes here. This is Wolf's bed right here.
You guys got this down like
Yeah.
a synchronized dance or something.
I mean, this is
That's
literally
after
every
like
night.
many.
Unless we're set up in a place,
I'm
then it's nice to
successful.
not have to do it. And then you want to take a look in there.
Yeah, so Matt did all the woodwork on the car, all these different compartments in here, everything. So as far as our mattress, we have like a 2-inch or 1.5-inch foam, and then these camping pads that have worked really well. And then we just put whatever we had underneath. But yeah, everything opens up. Honestly, we don't open it much. We always have the mattress on there. But yeah, and then so my one contribution to the car was Matt like welded everything with all this stuff, but and he built the water container, which we'll show later. But I made the curtains, so that was my thing.
I like
But,
those.
yeah, I like them too. Yeah, we just throw this thing up in the front windshield at night, blocks everything out.
So are there times where you have to lift up this thing to get all your stuff out? Or?
Well, really, so I keep my clothes right here on this half. He does the same. So we would usually just pull the bag out. We kind of keep stuff that like we don't immediately need in the compartments that are further in there. So
Okay.
Yeah, so this front section is basically just clothes, and then all of our like cooking gear is back here. Up there we have like surfboards, snowboards, gear that we don't use like regularly, you know.
Up in this container up
Yeah, up in this container up here, which we actually just got like 3 weeks ago. We did have 2 of these green cases, which that just became a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
After a while, taking it up, putting it down.
yeah, you want to move this rack?
Yeah, we can take it back on.
And then, so you have this rack to keep your
So
water.
yeah, this is our water. So we do a lot of primitive camping, and we have to bring our own water, bring our own everything. So we just like load up the ice chest. We have pantries, and I mean this is like our pantry. It's got like all of our dry goods, stuff like that,
Canned goods.
some cooking stuff. But yeah, let's pop this off.
So you often don't even sleep in this thing. You guys just camp in
Actually,
the tent or
usually
something.
we
we
sleep in it a lot.
because it's so much more comfortable. But when we go backpacking, we'll camp in the tent. But that's
So yeah,
really
you
all
can kind
we've
of see, we switch depending on the slope, which side we sleep on.
Yeah.
For sure. That's something y'all are well aware of. We got a little table,
Little bamboo.
little
yeah,
bamboo.
Matt did all that, and
So I'm actually doing the woodwork. Everything in here was built with leftover scraps from jobs I had, from all this wood to the metal from the roof rack and that little basket there. All of it was just scraps basically that we're gonna get tossed. So
This is nice thick wood too.
yeah, it's
That's
just
high
3/4
quality.
inch birch plywood, you know, and I mean, if we need to, these sections both lift up, you know.
and that's our table we use back there.
Yeah, we have a table there.
So
that-
that's like our normal stuff that we bring out every time is like our chairs and table, and then it's just whatever kitchen stuff we need. So
yeah, this is kind of like stove, knife, cutting board, you know, that sort of quick items like that.
Is this accessible storage down here on the side from when you're in bed?
Yeah, so, well, this right here is basically just first aid and like emergency stuff, but then each of us have these little sections on the side where we can kind of get into them.
it's
They're
mostly
under
books
there,
in
but it's
there,
more for
so-
like book storage and shit like that. You know?
You got these nice little ledges right
Yeah,
here.
we each have a shelf.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
great.
Those are nice to have.
Those ankle cuts are really nice right there.
Put your water bottle in there at nighttime. Quick tool bag.
And the
for-
curtains have been good. They keep us warm, and also like it gets really dark in there, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, they come out.
Nice.
They actually are pretty insulating because they're like thick,
good.
you know?
Yeah, it's like that Mexican blanket
Yeah,
material.
I found it at Goodwill. They were a bunch of like Mayan skirts that I just repurposed. They kind of were like wraparound, so it was easy.
I love those.
So how
Very
much?
nice.
You said you recycled all the wood from
All the
jobs
wood
you had. You
and
got
the
these.
steel.
You got these from Goodwill and
Yeah.
the steel. So how much did you spend on this build out?
I would say the most money that I spent was like mechanically involving the car, not necessarily this build at.
If the car was absolutely perfect, it was brand new, nothing you had to do to it. How much do you
Maybe
think?
$200.
$200.
Yeah, I mean, this was like 50. I spent on materials for this. It's like our solar shower,
Mhm.
It's very little.
which was basically just black PVC pipe with 2 end caps, and then I put this. It's a bike air valve for like basically a bicycle. You put it on there, so we pump that up with pressure, and then we have a hose that we hook up, and it just comes out. Right now, there's nothing in it because we've been in the city.
And you
Well,
were
we got-
saying that you just use a hand pump, a hand bicycle pump.
Yeah, it's just
to
it's
pressurize
about
it.
10 inches long.
Yeah, it should be accessible.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know if
where
it is.
I think it's in the green box.
And where do
Yeah.
you fill that up with water? Where do you get the water
so-
from?
You
Well,
have to. I
gas
mean, we have to have
stations,
some water source, like a
It's just a fill
somebody's
cap
hose,
right
but
there.
yeah.
Do you go to like gas stations or campsites, or what's your
That's-
usual place to?
That's really
gas
why we
stations
haven't used
usually.
it that much, because there's not always a place to fill up a ton of water like that outside.
Yeah.
With gas stations, it just depends on if they have a valve that you can screw into. With your
Or if
hose.
they're in a drought
'Cause
and
we're
don't
not.
want
I
to
mean,
share
it
their
would take
water.
forever to. Yeah, California wasn't just giving water out, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
And then we see this beautiful thing.
Yes,
It's a great blue heron. Our friend Zach Maris did it. He does murals all over
Coming
New
through.
Orleans. Hey. Yeah.
That's awesome.
yeah.
And you said it took just like one day, right? Or a couple
He
hours.
did this in
Oh,
2
2 hours. He's incredible. He just took his spray paint can and just like started going to town. And it's nice because like we have like stained glass inside now, so
Yeah.
it's pretty.
That's cool.
On the other side too.
So, do you guys find like sleeping in this and traveling, is it comfortable enough for you, or do you wish maybe you had more space?
It's definitely a more temporary situation, because this is like, you know, the tiniest situation that like a 80-pound dog and 2 adults can live in, you know, sleep in.
Yeah, if we were doing this any more long term, I would think that we would either need to get a trailer or a roof tent or something.
It'd be nice to have a little bit more space, maybe be able to cook inside when it's cold or the weather's bad or whatever. But it hasn't been like unbearable. Really, it's hardest when we're in cities and we have to keep everything in the car instead of like, you know, camping out.
You can't just set up.
So do you tend to then spend more time probably camping out and not as much time in the cities?
We've really, outside of Portland, the only other big cities have been in San Francisco and Denver that I can think of.
Yeah, we popped in Reno.
We've gone to a couple small ones, but like outside of that, it's been all national forest and BLM and public lands.
Awesome.
Yeah, Wolf's living his best wolf life. He's always covered in dust.
So, where are you guys heading next? What's the next adventure or plan?
Well, we're heading towards the coast right now, and then up into Washington, check out the Olympic Peninsula. And then we're definitely going to dip into Canada and check out, you know,
for the winter.
See some snow and hopefully snowboard. We have our boards. We used them once in the beginning of our trip in Winter Park in Colorado. So hopefully we get to use them soon.
Well, if you go to Canada, Whistler is an amazing spot to snowboard at. So.
And all the national parks in Canada allow dogs. National parks in this country don't, which has been tough because we've had to skip a lot of them. Because, you know, it's like, what are we going to do? Just leave him? I mean, we can't leave him in the car because it hasn't been too hot. Wolf snuck on a few hikes with us. You snuck him in a couple times.
Awesome.
If you guys were able to, like, redo this whole thing, not just the build, but the way that you guys live the van life or whatever, what would you do differently?
I would have less clothes. I have too many clothes in the rig, for sure. But...
One thing I would like to upgrade is our pantry refrigeration system because it sucks having to buy ice regularly, and not only just buying it, but like once it melts, everything in there gets kind of wet, and it's just I don't know. I would either like to get a better ice chest or eventually like a little refrigerator, a 12-volt refrigerator.
We got a little Dometic and it's amazing.
It's great.
I've had it for like 3 years, so no way I'm ever going back to a cooler.
So I would like to do that, and then upgrade to have like maybe just one solar panel and auxiliary battery just for when we're parked, you know, to just have.
Oh, you guys have no power in there?
No, so it's just like we charge our phones when we're traveling and then they eventually die or whatever electronic
we have a couple
dies.
USB battery like chargers, but I mean outside of the car we don't.
Wow, you guys are super primitive.
I mean, when we're in town, we'll go charge up like, I don't know, coffee shops and Whole Foods and watch Netflix when we have service. But
let's treat when we get into town for like
we've been binge watching Ozark since we've been in Portland.
And then this is us complaining about our power running out.
We don't even have it.
So, well, I think that's it. Do you have any more questions?
I guess we do the typical words of wisdom. Somebody if somebody was considering this type of life, traveling all the time in a vehicle, and they didn't you had some kind of words of wisdom for them, what would that be?
Well, one of my favorite things about doing this was just like being able to find what we needed, like, or at least as much as we could, and recycle it to do this, because I think it just like gets in people's head that you need to go buy a ton of stuff that you don't really need. And that's like one thing that I've learned. Like, I didn't need, half the stuff that I brought. So I'd say, less is more for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, and I would say if somebody was thinking about doing it, definitely do it. It comes with its ups and downs, but the pros definitely. Sometimes we wake up and our front yard is the ocean, and other times it's the middle of the desert somewhere or in some canyon, and it's like, I don't know, just being able to have that freedom to, like, I don't know, we've met people on the road, and next thing you know, we're cooking dinner, like next to a river or wherever. I don't know, it's just cool.
For sure. Do you think that you could live this simply with like no power, no refrigeration. You can't stand up inside the vehicle, all that. You think you could do that forever, or do you think this is like a phase where it's showing you guys what's possible and you want to?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean you
comfort.
could do it forever, but I wouldn't do it forever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's it's just it's rougher. It's just everything, every little thing that I was saying earlier, like anything you want to do, you have to like move something to do it, or like it just everything's like a little bit more work.
Yeah.
Plan it all out.
I love to cook, so the one thing I miss
chef.
most is having like, I don't know, it's really cool to be able to cook in with a landscape behind you, but being able to have leftovers in a refrigerator and just, I don't know, running water to clean your dishes.
Oh yeah, it makes you really appreciate.
It really makes you appreciate home, or wherever that might be.
I think there's a way to blend the two. That's our idea with the trailers. We want to blend all the convenience and the nicety of a house and the ability to travel and go wherever the hell we want.
Yeah, and living this lifestyle, it's like you only have what you really need. There's not a lot of room for like collecting stuff. I mean, we have like moss and stuff on our dashboard and feathers that we found, but it's I don't know. You just have the essentials,
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think this is it. I think we covered everything. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll just see you in the next video.